James Garner's name is synonymous with the kind of American charm that feels effortless, an easy smile, a steady presence, and a talent that made him a favorite in both television and film. Born James Scott Bumgar on April 7, 1928, in Norman, Oklahoma, he rose from a childhood marked by loss and hardship to become one of Hollywood's most beloved leading men. Garner's career spanned decades, from the iconic TV cowboy Bret Maverick to the world-weary detective Jim Rockford. Yet behind the laughter and the roles that defined an era, Garner carried a lifetime of physical pain, personal resilience, and deep loyalty. His life story is not simply a record of roles and awards, but a portrait of a man who lived with authenticity, refused to bow to Hollywood's pressures, and quietly became a symbol of integrity in an industry that often rewards the opposite. Early life, hardship, loss, and determination. Garner's childhood was shaped by tragedy. He was the youngest of three boys born to Weldon and Mildred Bumgar, but his life changed forever when his mother died when he was only 5 years old. His father remarried, and Garner later described his stepmother as abusive, creating an environment that forced him to grow up far faster than most boys his age. The Great Depression intensified the family's financial struggle, leaving young James with few comforts and little stability. He dropped out of high school and drifted through various jobs, from modeling to pumping gas. These early hardships did not break him, they strengthened him. Garner learned self-reliance, toughness, and a sense of responsibility that would define his character. It was these qualities, more than any early training, that would later translate into the grounded human performances that made him so beloved. A soldier's path to Hollywood. Garner's journey to acting was not planned. After a stint in the Merchant Marines, he joined the Army and served during the Korean War, where he was wounded twice and earned 2 Purple Hearts. When he returned home, he was searching for direction. Acting entered his life almost by accident, through a friend and fellow actor, Paul Gregory. With his athletic build and natural charisma, Garner quickly found work in commercials and small roles. Warner Brothers eventually signed him, setting the stage for his breakthrough. His early career was built not on glamour or connections, but on a raw presence that audiences found instantly magnetic. It was clear from the beginning that Garner didn't fit the mold of a typical Hollywood star. Instead, he embodied a new kind of leading man, one who could be both charming and flawed, funny and vulnerable, without ever losing his dignity. Maverick, redefining the Western hero. In 1957, Garner landed the role that would make him a household name, Bret Maverick, in the hit series Maverick. His portrayal broke the Western mold. Unlike the stoic, grim heroes of the time, Maverick was witty, affable, and often reluctant to fight. He relied on charm and cleverness, not brute strength, to survive. This made him not only refreshing, but deeply relatable. Garner's comedic timing and natural ease gave the character a warmth that resonated with audiences. Maverick became a cultural touchstone, and Garner's star rose rapidly. The show's success also established his reputation as a performer who could carry a series while remaining grounded and unpretentious. The role became a blueprint for his career, a hero with flaws, humor, and heart. It was a style of acting that would define him for the rest of his life, the leap to film, a versatile leading man. While many TV stars struggled to transition to film, Garner made it look effortless. In the 1960s and 1970s, he starred in a range of films that showcased his range. He played the resourceful scavenger in The Great Escape, 1963, and delivered a darkly comic performance in The Americanization of Emily, 1964, opposite Julie Andrews. He continued to defy expectations by choosing roles that combined humor and serious themes. In Support Your Local Sheriff, 1969, and Support Your Local Gunfighter, 1971, he leaned into comedy while still playing the Western hero with depth. His career reached a pinnacle in Murphy's Romance, 1985, where he earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. In every film, Garner brought a calm authenticity that elevated the story without overshadowing his co-stars. He was admired for his professionalism, his humility, and his ability to make every role feel human. The Rockford Files, a masterclass in relatable drama. In 1974, Garner returned to television in what many consider his finest role, private investigator Jim Rockford in The Rockford Files. Created by Roy Huggins and Stephen J. Cannell, the show redefined the detective genre. Rockford wasn't a tough guy hero. He lived in a trailer by the beach, preferred negotiation over violence, and rarely got paid for his work. Yet he was loyal, clever, and driven by a sense of justice. Garner's performance was layered, humorous, weary, and deeply human. His chemistry with the supporting cast, especially Noah Beery Jr., as his father, added emotional depth and made the show unforgettable. Garner won an Emmy for the role in 1977, and The Rockford Files became one of the most influential detective series in television history. But the show came at a cost. Garner did many of his own stunts, and the physical toll on his body was immense. The toll of stunts. Health battles begin. The physical demands of The Rockford Files took a severe toll on Garner's body, particularly his knees. Known for performing his own stunts, he ran, jumped, fought, and drove with a relentless intensity. Over time, the strain led to persistent knee problems, and he underwent multiple surgeries. 6 or 7, he later said, during the series. Even after the show ended, the damage remained. Garner lived with chronic pain for decades, eventually choosing total knee replacement surgery on both knees in 2000. His commitment to realism and his refusal to rely on stunt doubles reflected his work ethic, but it also cost him his long-term physical comfort. Yet even as his body suffered, his dedication to his craft never wavered. He continued working and remained committed to authenticity, even when it demanded more than his body could give. A marriage that endured. Lois Clark and family. Amid the pressures of fame, Garner's most enduring relationship was his marriage to Lois Clark. They met at a political rally in 1956 and married just 2 weeks later, a decision that defied conventional wisdom, but proved to be one of the most enduring unions in Hollywood history. Their marriage lasted nearly 6 decades, rooted in mutual respect, loyalty, and an ability to give each other space. Garner embraced Lois's daughter Kim as his own, becoming a devoted stepfather and creating a stable family environment. Later, the couple welcomed their own daughter, Greta Shea Garner, who grew up surrounded by her father's legacy. Despite his fame, Garner remained deeply involved in his family's life, supporting and encouraging them in ways that reflected his character, steady, present, and quietly loving. His marriage was not just a personal success, but a rare example of lasting devotion in an industry known for instability. Conclusion: the man behind the roles. James Garner's story is one of triumph over hardship, resilience in the face of pain, and a lifelong commitment to authenticity. He created iconic characters who were witty, flawed, and deeply human, heroes who didn't need to be perfect to be admired. From Maverick to The Rockford Files, his performances defined a generation, yet he never let fame change who he was. His late-life tribute to Jack Elam revealed the depth of his respect for fellow actors and his refusal to indulge in gossip or sensationalism. Garner's life reminds us that true greatness is not measured by awards or publicity, but by the way a person lives, with integrity, compassion, and courage. In the end, James Garner remains not just a legend of Hollywood, but a symbol of the kind of quiet dignity that lasts long after the lights have dimmed.